Hey, happy Sunday. Welcome to Bariatrics and Tips. I am Michelle Geeson, your hostess with the mostest, and I am here today to do our Facebook Live recipe demonstration. It is a 2-for-1 recipe today. So what that means for you is you are getting 2 recipes using 1 Crockpot meat meal. I don't know, call it what you will. You are gonna love this. You're gonna be drooling in no time. It's super easy to make. It doesn't require a lot of exotic ingredients. That is a word my husband uses constantly. He always says, what kind of exotic ingredients are there? Where basically things that he won't try. But this is all good stuff because this is what he is having for dinner tonight, and so are we. So welcome once again. For those of you who don't know me, again, I'm Michelle Geeson. I had gastric bypass surgery almost 7 years ago, and I have dedicated my life to finding ways to live large while I cook small, and I want to find flavor in everything that I do. And the reason why I want to do that is because it allows me to make choices as to what I put in my body. It allows me to feel like I don't have to be deprived of anything, because you should not have to walk the face of this earth wondering if you can have this or that. And so I cannot wait to show you this. I've got my daughter is my camera person today, so Maya, say hi.
Hi.
Everyone, Maya's here. Hopefully we'll bring you a little bit of comic relief because she's not one for spices. So if she gets a little close like last week, you might see her choke or gag, or hear her at least. She probably doesn't want to be on camera. But you know, one thing we all have in common is that we have all had weight loss surgery, or we're gearing up to have weight loss surgery. And even if that doesn't fit the bill, even if you're just trying to strive for overall health or wellness, if you're trying to combat diabetes, or you just want to do the right thing for your body, you are in the right place. This is definitely the place to be. Eating colorfully, eating healthy, eating to where you can feel good about yourself and the things that you're putting in your body and your family. It's a great place to be. So thank you once again. Maya, are there a lot of people joining? Are there any questions so far? No? All right. If any of you have any questions, certainly fire them off. I can't see the camera today, but Maya is manning it, so she will speak up if anyone asks, okay? So there's a lot of things to cover today. We are gonna do 2 things. We are gonna make slow cooker shredded beef enchiladas, and then we're gonna immediately take half of what we made in the crock pot, and we are gonna reserve it for a meal that we would have the next day or 2 days, however you want. When I made this last week, I did it on a Monday and a Tuesday. So Monday we had our slow cooker shredded beef enchiladas, and then on Tuesday we had that same shredded beef fajitas. And it was a win-win situation. We all ate good in the neighborhood. So that's what I'm gonna show you. Maya's gonna come around and we are gonna start off with the crock pot, okay? Come on over. All right, this has been cooking since, now you can look at me for a second, Maya. Thank you. Make sure you get me and not half of me and not this part of me. But anyways, I have been making the shredded beef since 8 o'clock this morning. It does require 6 to 8 hours on low. And if you have less time than that, then you can put it for less time on high. But the key to this wonderful tender meat is to slow cook it. You know, they say low and slow wins the race, and they're right in this case. So I'm gonna show you the crock pot in just a second, but I first wanna go over the ingredients for you, okay? And again, I'm using my laptop because I don't have the ability to print it this time. So we're gonna start off with 1.5 pounds of your favorite meat cut. You could use chuck roast, flank, or skirt steak. And I have used actually I think I used a top round because it was one of the only cuts that they had at the store, and it was on sale. So, but I firmly believe, and others have concurred, that you can really use any type of meat, and if you're marinating it in the right stuff, it's going to be super tender, and this is no exception. Okay, we're gonna do a cup of low sodium beef broth. We're gonna do a tablespoon of white vinegar, and that vinegar helps break down the fibers of the meat as you're cooking it low and slow, and really gets that tenderized feel, okay? We are gonna do a teaspoon each of ground cumin, chili powder, onion powder, and garlic powder. We are going to make a cornstarch slurry with a tablespoon of cornstarch and a tablespoon of water. You want to mix that up first before you pour it in. We are going to use 4 Carb Smart tortillas, and we will go through the nutrition facts after. Then we are going to do 2 cups total of shredded cheese, shredded cheddar and Monterey Jack, whatever blend you want, or in the case that I'm using today, 2 cups of the Mexican blend of shredded cheese that does all the work for me, okay? So we're gonna do that. We are gonna start off, when you get your roast, we're gonna season it on all sides with salt and pepper very generously, because that helps in making it tender as well when it cooks low and slow. We are gonna whisk together the beef broth, the vinegar, and I think I might have gone over, we have a cup of salsa, and I think I forgot to mention that. You can use your favorite salsa. I have my own homemade salsa. Here's a sample of it right here. It is delish and highly coveted. We are going to whisk together the beef broth, the vinegar, the salsa, and all the spices, and we're gonna pour it over the beef that's already in the crock pot. So take a look. This is how it's been looking today. I am gonna turn off my crock pot. It looks pretty nice. Hi, Melissa. Cool. All right. So we'll flash forward. It is past the 8 hours now, and we are ready to take this bad boy out of the crock pot. We're gonna do a couple things first. We are gonna take the meat and we're gonna shred it, but then we are also going to take the sauce, and we are going to prepare that with the cornstarch slurry on the stove, okay? One moment. I cannot believe that in all my preparation that I forgot to do the cornstarch. So I'm getting it ready, and I'm ready. All right, so let's go ahead and get this bad boy out of here. I have my tools, so I'm gonna take this meat out. Good job, Maya, thank you. And then Maya, once I get the meat out, I'm gonna have you come over here so everybody can watch doing the, wow. This stuff is falling apart in the crock pot, so you know that it is a huge win for meat kind. All right, yay, okay, come on over here, Maya. So we wanna shred this meat first. And this is my little shredder tool that I cannot live without. It is by far one of the most fantastic tools that I have. Yes, of course, it's Pampered Chef. But you can use it for chicken, you can use it for beef, you can use it for whatever you want. It's like 2 giant claws. The thing I like most about this is that when I'm done with it, it's magnetic. And so you only have to look for one thing in your junk drawer and not 2. So if anyone has any questions about that, certainly let me know, but it is really a favorite of mine. Okay, so look, we have got the shredded meat. I'm so stoked. What we're gonna do off the top is when you're preparing this, you wanna make sure that you're taking half of it right off the top and you're putting it away for the next day, okay? I know I'm gonna show you 2 for 1 today, so I am gonna take half. But I'm not gonna put it in the fridge because I'm gonna show you how to use it, okay? So I need to get my tongs, and now I'm gonna take half of this concoction and put it aside. And this is a really good best practice because you are utilizing all your resources. You are taking half off the bat right away, so you don't have to worry about overeating, wasting, portion control. You are automatically taking care of it. And it's a good rule of thumb too, like even if you were at a restaurant, you would take half of your meal and put it away anyways, same concept, okay? So I've got half of this, I'm gonna set it aside for now, and we are gonna work with the rest of this, okay? So what we're gonna do now is we need to take the sauce and we need to transfer it to a saucepan.
Someone asks if we can freeze it.
You can totally freeze it. You can freeze it because it's meat. Feel free to do that. You can set it aside and you can put it in the freezer for another time. Absolutely. Just thaw it in the fridge. make sure you're not thawing it out during the day because you want to make sure you thaw it properly. This stuff went gone with the wind this week. We were all about it. It was delicious. And I think that it even tasted better the next day. So there you go. One of the things that I like to do, and I showed you this yesterday or last week, Maya, let's show everybody, is that I use a Crockpot bag. And this is really super useful for things like right now where you have to transfer the sauce to a saucepan. Come on over here, Maya. And let's see. So now all you have to do, you have to be careful, of course, is transfer the sauce to a saucepan. And instead of having to completely clean your crock pot, all I do is take this and throw it away, which is awesome. Now all I have to do really is just clean and rinse my crock pot, but I'm not scrubbing it and after it's been cooking all day, okay? So now we have to take that cornstarch slurry that I told you about that I totally forgot to prepare ahead of time. Gotta love it. There's always something, you know, but I've got a tablespoon of cornstarch right here, and then I've got my my tablespoon of water, and you just mix it into a slurry. Here comes the dog seems to think that it's going to be good. Lego, it's cornstarch. Okay, so I got my cornstarch slurry, and now we're going to come on over to the stove. Let's put it over here, and we are going to. This is not good when the stove doesn't work. There we go. I actually cleaned the stove today, and when I clean it, for some reason, it takes a little bit for the flame to come back. So we are going to let this reach a boil. And while we're doing that, we'll talk a little bit more about this. All right. So let's talk while that's boiling. We're going to talk. You're going to actually see me prepare tonight's dinner. So I am using the carb counter tortillas for myself and anyone else in my house that wants to eat one. But my husband loves these. Look at the difference. All right. So I think I said this last week, or I said it sometime on the Facebook page. You're looking at 35 calories per tortilla versus 210. Yeah, Maya's eyes are bulging. You're looking at 35 grams of carbs for the big guy, and you're looking at 3 net carbs here. So, I don't know. You tell me what you like best. So, we are going to go ahead and we are going to put all these together, and then I'm going to show you an amazing treat. But while we're waiting for this to boil, I do want to show you what I like to serve on the side of my Mexican-inspired meals, and that is mango slices with chili lime. These are amazing, and if you like sweet and spicy type stuff, look, make sure you look at this, you got it? Mango slices with this sprinkled on it is like the perfect amount of heat and sweet, and I love some heat and sweet. These are amazing, and all you have to do is really just slice your mango. Fresh mango is great. If you buy frozen, to each their own, but I always like to buy them when they're on sale at the store, and then just sprinkle it over, and it is so delicious. Now, this mango is not the most ripe, but that chili lime makes it taste amazing, okay? So let's go over to the stove, and we are going to, we've got it boiling. Come on over, Maya. Okay, so this is the sauce from the crock pot, and we are gonna stir in our cornstarch slurry, and then we want it to get, it a little thickened. And you can see it's already starting to really take shape, which is great. And the dog's still at my feet. All right, so while that's simmering, Maya's gonna keep showing you. We are going to just stir for a few minutes, and then we're gonna divide the sauce in half. So hold on, let's let it get, we're gonna come back over in just a moment. Misty, yes, it's I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but yes, it is Tajin, but it is so good, and I had the hardest time trying to find it at my store, and then I went to a different grocery store just on the other side of town, and I happened to have found it, and I was so happy. It was not that expensive at all, and it's so delicious. It actually pairs really well with fruit, so watermelon they recommend. I put it on with the mango, and there was one other one. Why can't I think? I think I put it on a grapefruit, and it was amazing. All right, so this is getting pretty thick. Let us turn the heat down. Maya, come on over. Let's come back over here. All right. All right, so we do take half of the sauce, and we'll save the other half for the other recipe. And again, if you wanted to freeze this, you could totally freeze it, all right? So I always like to pour it into a measuring cup so I know how much sauce I have. It looks like it's about 3 cups. Ooh, and there is a nice piece of meat too, bonus. All right. So now I know that I can pour 1.5 cups of sauce. Actually, I'll probably end up, the recipe actually says, if I would read my own recipe, I would know. You need to pour 1/2 cup of sauce. So I'm gonna measure out 1/2. So now I've got 1 more cup to work with. You're gonna pour 1/2 cup into the beef mixture, and then you want to toss it around. Okay, Maya, get in here so everyone can see this yummy, amazing beef. Maya does not eat meat. She is a self-acclaimed vegetarian, and I think the spice is getting to her, but that's okay. This is a character builder. All right, so now we are going to build our enchiladas, and I'm gonna do this kind of quick because I know that I don't wanna keep running over, but I'm gonna start with Maya, you want to come over here. You're going to focus on the food rather than me, okay? So come on over here. And we are going to make 4 of these bad boys. I like to use a 1/4 cup measure when I'm measuring out this beef. You can do whatever works for you. Now, the nutrition content is going to be what you make it because you want to make sure that you're accounting for what you put on the tortilla. So I'm going to take a little bit of cheese on each one. All right. And then I'm going to put the meat on it and kind of get it. And I'm going to do that with all 4. Getting a good shot of this, Miss Thing? Mm-hmm. All right. Anyone have any questions so far? Anyone? Anyone? I'm like drooling. Are you drooling, Maya? Mm-mm. Please tell me how you really feel. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do. Well. All right. So you are going to tuck and fold. And let me tell you, and then we're going to put the seam side down. What we're going to do is we are going to put them in a baker that is lined with cooking spray. And this one's a little bit bigger of a baker. I'll say that a few times fast, only because I'm going to put the ones with my husband's and my son's food in it too. But at least this way, I know that I can get mine in there. And now I've got lunch for the whole entire week. Lots of enchiladas, the whole enchilada. All right, so I tuck and roll, and now I've got my enchiladas in there. So now we're going to pour the remaining sauce over the enchiladas. Now remember, I've got a cup of sauce that I get to work with. I'm just gonna take 1/4 cup and pour it over this bad boy. And then I will do my husband's stuff later. You guys don't need to see me do that. All right, I'm gonna top it with some of the cheese. And then this is going to go into the oven. Hold on one second. And believe it or not, I have got one in the oven to show you. I know the stove's on, Maya. Maya thinks she's the stove police. All right. So now, here's what we made. Here is the big, small enchilada. All right. I prepared for such a messy occurrence. So Maya, come on in. Wait, hello. It's a little too close for comfort there. Casey, I'm trying to read what you're saying. Yes. You can tweak this to be whatever you want it to be. Just make sure that if you're loading it into MyFitnessPal or accounting for your calories, that you know what you're accounting for. And when you get the recipe today at 3 o'clock, you'll have all this ironed out, so you don't have to worry about taking notes or anything, okay? But here's the enchilada at its best, okay? These are the ones that are carb smart. These are the ones for me. There's 2 of them in here. I just wanted to make sure that I spread the joy. And so now I want to make sure that you spray your pan. And I'm going to plate this bad boy. And I'm running out of space. Let me move this. Hold on. All right, so now, let's see. I'm just trying to get the best angle, Maya. Thanks, Melissa. It's amazing. It really is. So now you can put whatever you want on it. I love to put my jalapenos. I don't know. I just think pretty food makes everything better. I like to have a little cilantro to decorate the plate. I like to put some of my mango. And then here's my avocado. It's a really good tip when you're not using the avocado. Just put it in a shallow dish with some lemon juice, that avocado side down. And that way it'll keep its color. And then you can take your fabulous avocado. I like to buy the small ones. They were on sale. This is a really good story. They were on sale this week at Meijer. And I have them in here. When I bought them yesterday, they were bright green and nowhere near ripe. You could take an avocado and you could probably kill someone if you threw it. So I put them in a brown bag, and today they're nice and ripe and they're perfect. So if you didn't know that about the avocado, always ripen them in a brown bag. So now I've got avocados for the whole week. So here you go. Here is our baked, shredded, slow cooker, shredded beef enchiladas. Doesn't it look amazing? Oh, and you can use some salsa over top. And then you can also use, hold on one second, I have it in the refrigerator all ready to go. You can use plain Greek yogurt for your sour cream, which is my absolute favorite. All right, so now I want to take it a step further, and I want to show you, let's flash forward to tomorrow. Now I'm going to take that reserved beef and I'm going to make fajitas with it, shredded beef fajitas. And all you need are just a few things. I've got the bell peppers that we are going to stir fry, some onion, and I'll put the jalapenos on separately. So all we're gonna do is take our veggies, any veggies you want. You can even add mushrooms, and my recipe does say mushrooms are optional. I totally forgot to buy them at the store today. Shame on me, because it's one of my favorite things. So we're gonna come on over here to the stove, Maya. All right, I've got a tablespoon of olive oil in this pan with some garlic. Don't be shy, Maya, get on in there. All right, thanks, Liz, it is so good. So we wanna make sure that when we're getting this done that we are using a really, really hot pan. So I wanna make sure that the bottom of the pan is coated with that olive oil, and I can see the garlic going gangbuster. Hold on. All right, so I'm not gonna make all of these, but we always like to have a lot of color with our fajitas. So the onions, I got in first. My stance on the bell peppers, I'm the type of person, I don't like soggy peppers. I still like for them to have a little bit of a crunch. So I'm gonna work on the onions and the garlic first. And then I'm going to add the peppers at the last minute, kind of like an al dente concept where you don't want them completely, whew, there we go. That's what I call a campfire. So these are getting nice and done. The recipe for the fajitas calls for an optional 1/4 cup of broth. And so you're only going to use that when you think that the beef might need it. So the optional 1/4 cup of broth is accompanied by a tablespoon or 2 of fajita seasoning, just in the event that you need to add more liquid to it. You want to make sure that the liquid is very flavorful, okay? Those onions are looking fantastical. So now I'm going to add my fajita, or my bell peppers. And again, I'm all for the pretty food. What are you doing? Are you scared that you're going to get spattered? The girl is using the selfie stick completely extended. So these are just going to cook for about a minute. And in the meanwhile, I'm going to get my tortillas ready. So I'm going to reduce the heat a little bit. Maya, I want you to look at one other thing. The fajitas that I am going to make, because I just used the 4 tortillas that I had, these are the ones that I have left. And this is another really good option if you're counting calories, if you're counting carbs. This is by Mission. And these Mission street taco tortillas are whole wheat. And the serving size is actually 2. So the serving size is 70 calories, which means each one is 35. And you're looking at 3.5, well, you're looking at 1.25 grams of fat. You're looking at 1.5 grams of carbs per tortilla. So again, it's a really nice choice if you're wanting to live large and cook and eat small, okay? So all I'm gonna do at this point, Miss Maya, come on over here. In the essence of time and space, I'm gonna build my fajita. I'm gonna put a little cheese on it to make everything stick. And then, you have it on camera? Woo! I'm gonna come around and I'm gonna add all of my goodies. Yum. Red, yellow, and green pepper. And then now I've got a fajita that will make anyone go wild. Should I eat it? Should I eat it? What do I want to eat? Do I want to eat, come on over here. Do I want to eat the enchilada or the fajita? So now look, you've got 2 meals in one. You've got a lot left over. You can freeze them if you want, but you're only going to the crock pot once. And you're utilizing your resources. So many times I go to the crock pot. Maya, don't worry, it's turned off. It's just sizzling. So many times I make a meal at the crock pot and the leftovers sit in the refrigerator until they practically walk out themselves and I have to throw it away. And I absolutely hate waste. This is a great way to make 2 meals using 1 crock pot session. And I hope that you love it as much as I do. Now you do see a lot of extra here, but I'm not done building my dinner for tonight. I'm gonna get that ready as soon as we part ways for the day. But one thing that I do wanna talk to you about is what's up next. Please remember that Bariatrics and Tips is on all social media. So you've got YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat. I think I did it all. We've got next week, we are going to shift gears away from the crock pot and we're going to talk about Super Bowl food, because the last thing I want is for any of us to be tailgating or at a Super Bowl party and not be able to live large, okay? You don't have to feel deprived. You can still be able to find things to eat. When the whole world is eating and drinking, you will be able to do the same thing. So that's next week. Now on February 6th, or on February 13th, we've got plant-based protein. So we're gonna do a couple plant-based meals. We've got on February 20th, we're gonna do a spicy vegetarian sausage and bean soup. On February 27th, we're gonna do a chocolatey almond walnut brownie. We are going to do egg roll in a bowl on March 6th. We are gonna do a whole thing on Jell-O for March 13th. And then finally on March 20th, we're gonna do the steak bomb sandwich. And let me tell you, it is the bomb. It is so flippin' amazing. You're gonna wonder why you haven't made it thus far. Okay, so that gets us through the end of March. I want to thank you so much for hanging out with me. I think Maya did a great job. Everyone give Maya a round of applause. Thank you, my friend. I don't know, Maya, if you want to show everyone Lego. Lego just went to the groomer, so he's looking pretty dapper. All right, back up here. Hello again. So thank you once again for seeing me today. Make sure that you like and follow Bariatrics and Tips. Please make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. Live large, cook and eat small, find flavor in all you do. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye.